All right, folks, so prices are down by 25 to 30%. The long anticipated crash or correction, however you call it. And what now? I mean, we are at this point where all the entrepreneurs in the world, like if you listen to stock market gurus and other entrepreneurs that dealt with these situations before, would say, hey, look, 25% to 30%, in fact, 20% is considered a large correction and you should get into the market. However, even on this channel, there are many comments like the boom in June, it's coming back. We will see a huge boom in real estate market because of these numbers, systematic numbers. We have seen already the crash, and yet nothing significant is happening. So why is that? So I will try to answer it in my own words, my experience, the data that I have. All right, so let's say we call it John. John in 2021 and 2022 has seen the bubble, has felt that something is wrong, or did not want to get into the whole game of bidding wars and trying to be the best person on the table at that particular time, basically overpaying. All right, so what do? They would rent a place, modest place, they would live in it for a few years, and let's say they read the headlines now. All right, market has corrected by 20% or 30%, depending in the area, right? So John will wake up one morning and say, look, this is the bottom. This is the one opportunity that I should take in order to get what I want, one, and to be rich at the end of the day, right? Because most of the time, I would say Canadians value what they want, but they want to be rich, right? Like there has to be value attached, right? Value to whatever we do, I would say. So let's say John wakes up and says, hey, look, now it's the opportunity, calls the broker. The broker said, not a problem. Agent says, not a problem. Let's go. And then John finds out that even if he's pulling like 6 figures income, all right, he cannot buy anything, right? With $100,000, you will not qualify for a one-bedroom condo with 20%. Oh, it feels like it, right? And let's say John is in IT, right? Making close to $200,000. Like he's well equipped. He has no debts. Like he did everything that he's supposed to do. And yet, more than 60% will be buried in some kind of mortgage bills, right? Never mind adding cars, adding a family, adding kids, adding vacations, or anything that would, I would say, complete a normal lifestyle. So guess how or guess what will John do, right? He will say, no chance. I did everything right for so many years. I I lived modestly. I saved. I went to school. I have a good paying job. I'm earning well, and yet everything that I have succeeded will be taken from me, basically, and I will not even get the property I want. Like John cannot um, expect a 5,000 square foot home or a penthouse or a lavish lifestyle at that point, right? So it goes to show you, and why I'm bringing this up, because this particular person didn't want the name to be shared, but that's kind of his story. Like I will not reveal the identity, but the John said, like, I'm not gonna do that, right? And other fields are opening, right? Like online work, and I feel that people want to, what's the word? Like they want to be free, like they want to live and work wherever they want to live and work and earn and do the job and enjoy life, right? And I asked him a question. I'm like, it's not that easy, right? Like, I mean, like moving to a different country or doing something outside this particular bubble. He said, well, fine. Even if I'm in this bubble, what am I gaining exactly, right? So most likely they will decide, like as a girlfriend, they will decide to live abroad, and they will decide probably that they will earn less by taking these smaller contracts and working online, way, way, way less than what they're earning right now. However, their lifestyle and everything else will be more complete. So the question is, did we hit the bottom of real estate? And in my humble opinion, I don't think we're even close, right? Because it's not only the price that dictates, price is a major factor, but there's so many other components that have to fall into place where people can uh, oversee the entire spectrum of a deal or value and say, okay, I'll do it, right? And we have seen that throughout decades in Canada where the deal and that handshake with the bank, with the mortgage broker, with the developer made sense because everyone was gaining and everybody was benefiting at the same time simultaneously. So at this point, it is a big unknown, and therefore, I believe that even the people in the top hierarchy are they cannot make these moves easily. And this is not too long ago, okay? Like if we go 2 decades, like 2005, okay? Like if I'll give you an example. Let's say we have a an accountant or a bookkeeper. Let's say at that time, entry level, you know, the girlfriend or the wife would make somewhere around like 60, $70,000. And let's say the husband is in construction, plumbing, electrician, drywalling, studying, roofing. Let's say we put him into a truck, long distance trucking, delivery, anything like that, right? Like hard work, labor intensive. And let's say they manage to bring home 90 to 100K, right? So that family is, let's say, a ballpark between 150, $160,000. At that point, 20 years ago, I guarantee you, they can do a lot, right? A lot in terms of areas as well, developments, choice. Like I remember, like if you wanted to be in Toronto, even at that time in 2005, not many people wanted to be in Toronto. So let's say they would move to Etobicoke. They could afford a house. A family income of 150K, no problem, in Etobicoke, in Mississauga. I'm not even gonna touch Brampton, Milton, uh, Woodstock. Oh my gosh. Like in Woodstock, they can buy a school, like elementary school, okay? Um, Niagara Falls, Grimsby, Hamilton. Like, are you kidding me? Like in Hamilton, people were buying properties for like 60, 80K. You know what I mean? So it's a completely different set of rules today. So even if we would bump up, right, like their income and we double it, which is unlikely, right? Like it is unlikely that a truck driver in 2005 earning $10,000 a month will take more home and that dollar will be more valuable that in 2025 or 6, okay, like 20 years later, if he earned $200,000. Why? Gas is more expensive, bills are higher, payments on a truck higher, um, work is more difficult, um, border crossing, tariffs, like there's a whole list that comes with that. Okay, so same thing with construction. I feel right, like people might on paper earn more gross, but by the time they buy the material, by the time they get to that particular location, it takes gas, takes effort, and it's wider and wider ring or destinations, right? In 2005, it was unlikely for someone from Toronto, Etobicoke, Mississauga, right? Like we're talking the West End here, like to travel to Windsor to do a job, unless it's a major subdivision or something like that, right? Of course. But no, like Milton, Brampton, Oakville, Burlington, like within, like I would say, 100 kilometers. Like if you spoke to someone and they said, "Hey, look, I have a job to do in Collingwood or Wasaga Beach, Barrie," like, oh my gosh, why are you going that far, dude? Man, that's an hour and a half, like in each direction. Like, why would you do that, right? So, but today, like it is very common to people to drive from Mississauga to work in Oshawa, Kingston, and these are not even subdivision. This is the odd job, right? So when we're calculating the entire spectrum and the cost and the earnings and everything else, like you see that like it's getting tight. Like let's mention real estate agents, right? Like back in the day, like 2 decades ago, and I was taught that same, I would say, philosophy. Like you have to pick a town, an area, if it's a city, an area. You cannot be an expert in downtown Toronto, North York, Barrie, Milton, and poor credit. Like it's just like it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Because people value your opinion, right? Like you are a professional broker, and they want to know. Let's say they're moving into an area, right? In poor credit, I mentioned poor credit, right? Like they would want to know which streets, which lots, how the sun rises and sets, who the neighbors like, what the community is like, where they can go, what they can expect, and everything that wraps around that. So the good ones become experts and they can deliver these services. And now we move 2 decades ahead with over 70,000 licensed realtors in Toronto GTA. And we find out that if you call someone and they're based out of poor credit, they'll show you a property in Ottawa. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no problem. Like, like, and it just goes to show you that everything got watered down because um, even these agents don't have a choice. Everything got filtered. Everything is a push. For a long time, it almost became a scam, whether it's a scam or not. Like I'm sure nobody was twisting and pushing, but there was the marketing and some type of manipulation overall that, you know, like people were pushing each other, right? And we were selling homes to each other in Canada, right? So um, what there's a quote I just heard on the channel, was someone commented, "You are richer than you think," right? So I don't know where it's from, to be honest with you, at this point, but it just crossed my mind. So but are you really as rich or wealthy as you think, or is it the death ratio that's pushing the entire nation, especially these two big cities like Toronto and Vancouver, pushing and making that bubble even bigger day by day. So please comment below, like this video, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.